I have always thought that the call for a special relationship was something that weaker powers do, because stronger powers don't need to claim a special relationship. The United States has special relationships with a number of countries, depending on what's at stake, the region, and so forth. The bones of the relationship are nuclear and intelligence. We all know about the intelligence relationship now, of course. Very close, very close. But people think of the United States and Great Britain being so much alike. I don't think that's true at all. Well, it is special in that they talk to each other. If you're a second secretary out in an embassy in, say, Lagos, and you hear shooting in the streets, and you want to know what's going to happen, you immediately ring your counterpart. If you're American, you ring the British embassy. The bureaucracies work together. Political leaders come and go, but the bureaucracies work together. The navies have interchangeable parts almost, and their people interchange. The Foreign Office and the State Department exchange people and read each other's dispatches and stuff. So at many levels, they trust each other and they work together. The first mention of a special relationship was Winston Churchill in 1940. He's trying to convince Roosevelt and the Americans to help. It really becomes public on the 5th of March 1946 in Fulton, Missouri, when Churchill and President Truman are together at a public meeting. And this is the speech in which Churchill says there must be a special relationship between the British government, the British, Great Britain and the Empire, and the United States. And you need a special relationship because from Stettin in the Baltics to Trieste in the Adriatic, an iron curtain has come across Europe. And so the special relationship and the Iron Curtain come from the same speech, in fact. Well, the U.S. has a number of special relationships, of course. We all know about the relationship with Israel. I know it has a certain special relationship with Australia because you fight side by side with the Americans. It has a special relationship with Germany. In fact, one might argue that Germany is now the primary ally in Europe of Britain, because they don't actually control Europe as such, but they are certainly the strongest power in Europe, and therefore the United States, you have to get Angela Merkel on side to get things accomplished. The advantage of Britain in many ways in terms of war for the United States was, of course, she would fight both Gulf Wars, Afghanistan, and Korean War, and so forth. But Britain, for the past several years, has been demilitarizing herself, cutting back on the Navy, cutting back on the Army, and soon it's going to be a question of whether she is worthwhile to the United States, certainly as a military ally. She's worthwhile to the United States as long as she stays in Europe. If she withdraws from Europe, then one really has to wonder what she's going what she has to add, except, of course, for the intelligence relationship. And it's that particular relationship that really ties them together and will continue. And, of course, because the United States, even as a superpower, has to have someone to talk to that it can trust. And that's probably one of the greatest contributions Great Britain makes to this Anglo-American relationship.